You are mute, sir, I think.
Hello.
Yes, sir, now clear. Again gone.
Hello. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, good evening, friends. Meeting again in the session of Stuart Close philosophy. And we're going to start with new chapter, that is chapter number 11, the symptomatology. We have finished two chapters. We are going according to the study of VIHMS because basically it has been arranged in such a way so that you will learn the basics in a chronological way. It is not according to the Stuart Close chapter number, but according to the way we used to learn in college. That's why I have started with second year syllabus, and we have finished two chapters. Two more are remaining from the Stuart Close. So those chapter number 11 and 12, that we have to finish first. This chapter is the symptomatology, and this is very important chapter if, for the students from exam point of view, for us as a practitioner to understand the value of symptoms, the symptomatology is important. And that's why we're going to learn every aspect, and these are chapters which are more having a more practical value. So we'll start directly with this chapter, the chapter number 11, symptomatology, the homeopathic materia medica. The materia medica of Hahnemann is an enduring monument to the genius of its author, original in its connection and design, and unique in its form and contents. Its foundation is on the bedrock of natural law. It is constructed of the cut stones of accurately observed facts, laid up with the cement of irrefragable logic. Over its portals are graven the words similia, similibus curantur, simplex, simile, and minimum. So what is written? To start with the chapter, he has introduced the chapter with the homeopathic materia medica. Hahnemann was the first one who has started writing the materia medica and the materia medica with facts. Allopathic materia medica, as compared, was not based upon the facts, which was based upon the speculations more. What is the speculation? Speculation was that they used to prove the drugs on animals, and considering it will act in the same manner in the human beings, they used to use it in human beings. They have written whatever has happened at the cellular and tissue level after proving in their materia medica, and same action they expect that will happen in the human being. That was the speculation, not the fact. Hello. Just a minute.
Some disturbance is there.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. What is mentioned over there, the Hahnemannian materia medica is totally based upon the facts. He has started a new era. He has proved the remedies first on himself, then he started proving out on the friends and even relatives. And what he has started writing down each and every word, whatever the patient has proved, and everything is written. So the subjective as well as objective, both the things he has written over there, and which was absolutely a different thing, which was totally a new, where all varieties of symptoms used to happen. And that is basically the Hahnemannian aspect of looking towards the materia medica. And he has written it with the help of all the cardinal principles he has written it for the purpose of utilizing the cardinal principles, the law of similars, law of simplex, the law of minimum dose, all those laws, in order to apply the materia medica should be written as it is on the basis of facts. So patient has said that after taking the medicine, I got the dream of such and such thing. He has written in his materia medica. The patient has got dream. He has written the day, the date, everything over there in his materia medica. If you go with the materia medica pura, you'll get the even the names of the provers. That is the reality. That is the truth which is there in the Hahnemannian materia medica. And everything, whatever is explained with the facts. And those things are totally different for the medical field at that time. Hahnemann, on apprehending a new general principle in the therapeutics, was confronted म्हणजे गोंधळात पडणं, संभ्रमात पडणं, was confronted with the problem of creating an entirely new materia medica by means of which the principle might be applied in practice. If diseases were to be treated according to the principle of symptom similarity, it was necessary to know what symptoms drugs would produce in healthy persons, since these would be the only symptoms which could possibly resemble the symptoms of the sick person. So he has started writing down the materia medica. First, there was a question how to write. Then he thought over it that what the patient has, what the prover has said, if he has written it, whatever he has said, if it has been written as it is in the materia medica, it will be quite easy because the patient will narrate the similar type of sentences, similar type of method. Then you can catch all those things. It becomes rather simple. And that's why he has written the materia medica on the very basic facts which he has listened from the provers. If the diseases were to be treated according to the principle of symptom similarity, it was necessary to know what symptoms drugs would produce in a healthy person, since these would be the only symptoms which could possibly resemble the symptoms of sick person. There was no materia medica in existence which contained the facts or phenomena of the action of the drugs upon healthy. So he was the first one who has started writing the materia medica by proving the drugs on healthy human beings. It is absolutely new for the medical field. The existent materia medicas contained only the incidental observations, theories, and opinions of the drug action of men who gave drugs to the sick or treated cases of poisoning upon purely empirical and speculative assumptions. And these were given not singly, but in such combinations and mixtures as to render impossible any intelligent conception of what the action of single drug might be. So before Hahnemann, whatever the materia medicas were there, that means the allopathic modern therapeutics were there, those were based upon the speculations more than on the facts. They were the products of poisonings, and they were not the products of single drug action, they were the products of mixtures. So it was very difficult for even for an intelligent man to separate that what is the action of this specific drug. It was rather difficult. And that's why many times when using the drug, you are not safe. Many times it happens that there happens to be a reaction, adverse reaction, side effects, because they were not known the facts. It was just an assumption. It will work in the similar manner. Undismayed by the magnitude of the task, Hahnemann said about creating materia medica, which should embody the facts of drug action upon the healthy. He instituted provings of the drugs upon himself, members of his family, friends, students, and fellow practitioners, keeping all under the most rigid scrutiny and control, and carefully recording every fact and conditions under which it was elicited. See, the way he has presented was very nice. He started proving on himself. He started proving it on relatives, on friends, on students, and there was a fixed scrutiny. Yes, everything, whatever he used to understand, used to write over there. He has asked the provers, whatever you feel, you say, tell me in the same words the way you feel. Don't change the language. Don't change anything, because these things I have to use for the purpose of better mankind. And that's why he has made his own scrutiny. And through that scrutiny, he was writing his own material. See how difficult it was 250 years back. And second important thing, the people on whom he was proving were genuine. They were not the paid provers. They are the provers who are very close to him, and because of which he was quite keeping the quite trust on them. This work was continued for many years, part of its being published from time to time, until the mass of material had reached enormous proportion. And he has started proving like this right from 1790. And when he has published the Materia Medica Pura, anyone knows? In which year he has published the Materia Medica Pura? Anyone?
1805.
No, 1805 was
18.
Medicine of Experience. Materia Medica Pura, 2 volumes, came in 1811. That was the time. First edition was 1810 Organon, and next year he has published the Materia Medica 2 volumes. Adopting the plan of arranging the drug symptoms, thus Adapting the plan of arranging the drug symptoms thus derived according to the anatomical parts and regions of the body in which they occur, as the most rational and simple method of classification of the for the purpose of comparison with these disease symptoms. Hahnemann constructed and published first the Materia Medica Pura and the latter the chronic diseases, the greater part of which is composed of provings of the drug. Do you know when chronic diseases were published? Any idea? Chronic diseases were published in 1828. 1828. Chronic diseases, 2 volumes were published in 1828. So a big gap, 17 years gap, Materia Medica Pura and chronic diseases. Covering nearly 3,000 royal octave of pages, they constitute one of the most stupendous work of the original experimentation and research ever attempted and carried out by a one man. This is the uniqueness. Why these peoples are so great? They were not having computers. First important thing. But they are having only one and strong characteristic. Kent and Hahnemann, दोघांचं एकच rubric, which is the rubric they were industrious. They are very hard work. It is a stupendous work which he has written, published. See how many publications are there on name of Hahnemann. And he was writing, experimenting and writing, experimenting and writing. How much stupendous work he has done. To this original work of Hahnemann, many and large additions have been made by later workers. The vast collection of symptoms of which the Materia Medica of homeopathy is composed in incomprehensible, without an understanding of principles upon which it is based. In a good working homeopathic library, there are about 200 volumes by many authors upon the subject of Materia Medica, including special connections and classifications, repertory, charts, and indexes of the symptoms. Confronted by such a mass of material, it is no wonder that the student is at first confused and discouraged. But when the basic principle has been explained to him, he has learned the meaning of symptoms, their methods of classification and interpretation, and when he has the means of ready reference provided, his bewilderment gives way to the admiration. So now he is explaining the importance of Materia Medica and different Materia Medicas published later by many people. Now there are many more Materia Medicas. But Hahnemann was the first one who has written it in a systematic manner. Then many peoples worked upon the Hahnemann's work. Then there were certain peoples who started rovings. Herring was one of them. Boni Hussein was one of them. Kent was them. And all of them were hard workers. They have tried proving the new remedies. They have tried to write it down in the Hahnemannian fashion. Then they have made an analysis. Then they have made an analysis as well as evaluation and written it in anatomical schema. The Materia Medica, Borix Materia Medica is there with us. It has been written in such a manner that it becomes quite easy for us for a reference work. We can reach to the specific point because it is written in such manner. Kind was the first one who started writing the drug personalities. His Materia Medica is nothing but a new method of writing the Materia Medica, and he has started with drug personalities. Every remedy, what personality that remedy is having, that he has explained over there. So all those things he tried to explain in such a manner, because of which we have a lot of Materia Medicas available with us. The task of mastering the Materia Medica and vast and even impossible as it seems is comparatively simple. So what he says, if you want to become a master, what to do? He says it is vast. It looks impossible, but it's comparatively simple. The compass that points the way through the seeming wilderness of symptoms is the principle of similia, the remedial law of homeopathy. So if you want to learn, you understand the law. You understand it, then you understand the remedy, you understand the exactness, and gradually when you work over it again and again, then you become a master of it. When the drug symptoms recorded in the homeopathic Materia Medica are seen to be exact counterparts of the symptoms of disease, and it is explained that medicines cure diseases by virtue of the similarity of symptoms, the reason for the existence of Materia Medica in its characteristic form is evident. The arrangement of symptoms according to the anatomical schema is for the purpose of comparison symptoms of the drug with the symptoms of the disease. Given the basic principle and its corollaries, the rest is merely a matter of mastering the logical classification and interpretation of symptoms and the use of manuals, indexes, and repertories provided. So what he is explaining, if you want to become a master of it, then you have to start with just reading the Materia Medica, understanding Materia Medica the way it was written. It should be arranged in an anatomical way so that it becomes quite easy for understanding. And that's why we used to find it out each and every detail. If patient tells you exactly the symptoms of it specifically, and you have to compare, you can find it out Materia Medica and find it out under the specific head, anatomical head, and you can locate it. That is the thing. Second important thing, it was too vast. That's why it was not easy to recollect. Boningwasson, even Hahnemann, even himself thought that it is rather difficult. So he was considering the need of repertory that time. In fact, he has prepared his repertory but was not published. Then Zahar was the first one who has published the repertory, but which never remains existent. Then Boning Hussain was the published his repertory, and Boning Hussain is called to be a father of repertory thereafter. But how to recollect the Materia Medica? The need for Materia Medica, for that, developed the repertory. So recollecting the Materia Medica, the better tool is the repertory. Because with the help of repertory, you can reach to this very specific part and you can understand that. So this is what the Materia Medica is, the homeopathic Materia Medica, a big entity, very big entity. When we read what happens with the newcomers, they read the Materia Medica, one remedy. Next day they read another remedy. And third day they read another remedy. Fourth day another remedy. And on fifth day there is only confusion. Because everything looks similar. And that's why if you want to be a master, you have to concentrate very specifically on the keynotes, the characteristics of the remedy. If you are able to judge the characteristic, the site of action, the core of action, the essence of the remedy, then it is quite easy to recollect the remedy. And that's why it's not a simple task. It's not with but just reading materia medica, you are going to grasp the remedy. You have to be familiar. You have to be so familiar with the remedy. You have to read them again and again. You have to watch them again and again. Then it becomes settled in your memory. And this is the introduction to this chapter he has mentioned. Actual topic of symptomatology starts hereafter, and that we'll discuss directly on Monday's session. Monday we'll start with symptomatology. So this was the just an introduction to the chapter what he has written with the help of Materia Medica. On Monday's session, we'll start with symptomatology, the basic right from what is symptom and how to go ahead. All things we're going to discuss on Monday. Today evening, we'll continue with the Aurum second part. The part of it today we have yesterday we have discussed. We'll go ahead with the second part in today's session. So that's all for today. Thank you being there. We'll meet at 8 o'clock with Aurum part 2. Any query question? So we'll meet sharp at the 8 o'clock. Good night.